Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's showtime. Ladies and gentlemen, May 1st, 2025, coming at you live from the 2LaneLIVE headquarters in Canoga Park, California. This episode is brought to you by Law Tiger Motorcycle Attorneys. Get in a crash, know someone who gets in an accident, give them a call before you call insurance. They'll take care of you. Today, we got the Thrashin boys in the house, and let's get into it.
Yeah, let's get into it.
And we're giving stuff away today, by the way,
Welcome,
so stay tuned.
Welcome, boys.
Yeah. Happy Thursday, everyone.
Yeah. We just saw each other in Arizona. We had a great ride. What a fun time that was.
Yes, sir.
You know, and it was weird. We got to ride with East Coastin'. That was kind of cool. What did we have? 12 guys?
10
I think
guys.
there was 10. I don't know. Ask Sal. He had a different number in his head.
Yeah.
I think he was counting extra.
But that's cool because I mean, we only got to ride a couple days together, but
I was going to say
love that stuff.
you missed out
Yeah.
the actual fun
Road
part of the trip.
Yeah, that's true. You guys rode a lot.
I mean, for some reason, every time we come back from AZ Bike Week, and I think that we just don't have the bike week figured out there, right? Every time we go, we only go to Tortilla Flats, and I feel like we're always going and riding across Phoenix to go places, and it kind of like spoils the experience. But I do think that we just also came back from Arizona that hasn't been seen on our vlog yet, but we were just in Arizona. So I don't want to dive too deep on what we were doing in Arizona, but we went on more rides in Arizona from Phoenix. Where'd we ride to?
Did you go up to Sholo?
Pine Mountain?
Yeah.
Salt River Canyon? Does
I
that
don't
sound familiar?
remember.
Like the
It
60
was
or
a cool
64?
ride.
Yeah,
It was
it's
cool.
probably
I mean,
Sholo.
These were 90 mile per hour canyons
Yeah.
that
Swoopy
kind of like
rides.
swoopy, and then we went up into the pine
Lone? No.
Pines
Lone
or
Pines
something.
up here.
Right, yeah, it was. I am bummed we hadn't experienced that before, but now that we know, maybe next time we go, we could all check that right out.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some really great riding. You guys just haven't seen. You got to see that piece, but even down south and then up into Sedona.
Yep.
I mean, there's beautiful country.
You guys haven't been to Tombstone.
No.
Down below, it's like almost to the border. It's amazing down
Well,
there.
we went down to the border.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, you guys got to
I
go
was
into
so
Mexico,
bummed.
right?
Went down to the border.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was.
I didn't have
wait,
the
I want
passport.
to know. Let's tap in real quick and let's see. Out of the live viewers, have any of them followed along with our Arizona trip with your guys' vlogs or our vlogs, or even followed us to Mexico yet? Or
I would have a feeling that, yes, a lot of people on here have watched it because we've watched your videos and seen some of these same names popping up on your videos.
And we did have a handful of people saying it's their first time tuning into our show because they saw it on your channel. So we're stoked.
well, thank you guys. Thank you guys all so much. Thank you guys for inviting us on. This was very impromptu. They hit us up last night, less than 24 hours ago.
Right.
Like, come on. We're like, all right. And sadly enough, Cole's not here.
He's a little under the
Uh,
weather.
Cole called us today. He was answering a question for Josh, and he was on the phone, and he sounded like had 7 pounds of cement in his nose.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cole's not doing too hot. A little under the weather.
Wow.
So,
Bummer. But hey, Cole.
We miss you, bud.
Yep.
Yeah.
Miss you.
So talk a little bit about the Mexico run. Are all the videos out now?
not yet.
not yet. There's another one
Just
dropping
one?
this Tuesday. 2 of 3 have dropped.
So up to the point that you've dropped, how was that ride? Because you guys took off in the morning.
I mean, honestly, it was really, really cool. We all experienced crossing the border at a new location.
Yeah.
Right.
We crossed at the
Mexicali.
Tijuana border,
Oh yeah.
but this time was Mexicali.
Yeah.
And then also seeing Dom, who is brave, tough, strong. seeing him like kind of like get worried, and like you could see him kind of getting anxious and like nervous, especially as we're getting close to the border.
We're like, it's gonna be all right, buddy.
we're like, we got you, dude.
You know, the bike's ticking like a top, making a little noise. The last thing I want to do is break down somewhere I'm not familiar with. That was my first time going in to Mexico on 2 wheels. So it was a great experience. Not need to say,
But you were a little bit worried.
We had no issues. Yeah, you never want to be the guy in the pack that breaks down first,
Right.
off, especially in Mexico with areas unknown. And thank God, I mean, it's with the boys. So,
But you got
I'm
back.
in good hands.
Is the bike? Was it in your
It's
head?
just,
Because that
no,
whole
it's
trip
just-
you were thought
it's
it was.
just making a little noise. They're still gonna pull some stuff apart. We're gonna dive into it at some point, but once we got back, I was slammed with work
Right.
after that. But it's getting old. it's been great to me. We made it back. You know, just never want to be the guy that breaks down, especially in Mexico.
You have a
I-
2005, right?
2005,
So it's
63,000 miles.
And you
on
bought it with 50,000 miles.
It had
on
like
it?
Yeah.
69, I think. something
And
like
and
that.
he's
A whole-
ridden that thing
a
to
whole
Sturgis.
4,000 miles on it. when I
How
bought
many
it.
Wait, it had
years?
4,000 miles on it when you bought that bike.
Oh, dude, it was like
4,000.
90% of them.
Yeah.
So you've been to every Sturgis with us except for a couple.
I think I missed one so far.
Two.
Just due to work. Two
I think
due to work.
So on a usual trip, we're all on our baggers,
Yeah.
and you're on the Dyna,
Yeah,
and it's just 05 and it's 5-speed,
5-speed.
and you're ripping, and that thing's made it every year.
Well, yeah. Let's
It's-
let's think about that. What was the first year that the four of us went to Sturgis together?
Was it 16?
It was
2016?
10
We
years ago.
always
Was it 10
mess-
years
It wasn't-
ago?
So it's
Yes.
the first time that we went up over Estes and Rocky Mountain National Park. We stopped at Luke's cousins, and
So
I
what-
think it was
what-
I think it was 16.
Was
Let me
that the year we
You can
stopped
see
at
a
Jeff's
picture.
cabin and did Loveland and all that?
That
or
was the
no?
second.
That was the
No.
second year.
No, that
No,
was
that
the
was the
first
first
one.
Wait, that
No,
was the
what?
first
Yeah.
year?
Yeah.
No, wait. Is the first year we went was when we went through? You got the epic picture of Williams when we got hit with the hail. That was the first year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the rainstorm.
So we went
Yeah.
through like
What's
115-degree weather.
Going to
Then up
into
to
hail
Rocky
once
Mountain
we-
National
yeah.
Park.
going to the brewery distillery. That was 2017.
So, but that was with CJ
Mike.
Barham. So that wasn't our
No.
first year.
No,
No.
CJ
He
wasn't
didn't
with
go
us that
to.
year.
He went to our cabin.
That was a different. That was a different.
When we
route.
went to Jeff's
That's when we
cabin,
went
it
up
was
to, like,
August.
Mike was
20
with us.
No, August 2016 was the year I didn't go
Oh,
So then it was a 17.
because August 2016 was when my daughter Luca was born, and I went 2014, 2015.
Skip that.
Let's see, August 2014.
So what you're saying is we've only been there. This will be the 10th year.
this will be your guys'
10th. Year 12th.
This will be our ninth.
The ninth. You guys went your first year. Our first
And
year
I think it's my 7th.
was 2017. I started going in
Yeah,
2014.
This is the 9th.
This is our 9th year.
I'm not going anymore. I want to say I've been there 10 times. We have.
All right, hey, somebody
Wait,
just
we-
asked,
we've
is
been
there
back
going to be
You
a,
haven't been to 10 Sturgis rallies.
Right.
Right.
somebody
9.
asked, is there going to be a thrashing ride at Sturgis?
Thrash and Ride, put it on your calendars. It is Tuesday the 5th, August 5th at Tuesday. We're going to be riding from Sturgis. We've been working with Sturgis, the city, as well as Harley-Davidson on what parking lot we're going to be starting from. I got word that it might be the like kind of town center. I also got word it might be the high school. I also got word it might be that Harley Sturgis store in town. They're working out what place would be the best for us to park as well as get out of there. We will be giving out, I believe it's something like 500 free Harley-Davidson collab THRASHIN Supply t-shirts. But this year you're going to have to sign up to get it, and you're going to have to pre-sign up. I believe it's free, but you're going to have to, however we do this through Harley or our website, sign up, say you're going on the ride, and then show up with that and get your free Harley-Davidson THRASHIN shirt. And then with that being said, when you make it to Outlaw Square with us, free tacos, and then we're going to have a ton of cool like Sturgis Thrash merch that'll be available if you don't score one of those.
Well,
but
we're
I don't
gonna
wanna get
miss. We're
sidetracked.
gonna
That-
miss the ride because we're leaving Tuesday.
No, we're not.
Yeah, we are.
I'm staying. Man.
So-
I don't know where you're
But
staying.
we got sidetracked. I forget what it was, but yeah, I was just trying to bring in.
No, they were asking about the ride.
Yeah, but we were
Oh,
we were
yeah.
talking about Mexico.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Mexico, night one, you guys saw this. One, everyone told us like, don't ride at night, like don't ride in the dark, don't leave, where you're staying in the dark. We got to this really cool spot. It was an Airbnb. It was a lot bigger than we anticipated. The price was very affordable for like this 10 house bedroom house.
We could have had you guys plus 10
Oh,
other
now you
people.
invite us.
And you guys have all had your own little like.
It was a
Little casita.
It was a badass
Yeah.
setup.
It
and,
was sick.
and like the lady that was kind of running it, she
Right, but the first night was in San Felipe.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you made it to San Felipe that day.
Yeah.
You saw the Cia Cortez.
Yep.
Because I saw that in the video.
Yep.
I've always wanted to take him there.
It was incredible. And
Definitely put it on your list, you guys. should.
thankfully Juan was with us. The house like lady who ran it, she definitely only spoke Spanish.
Yeah.
I mean, we would have gotten by with
Juan
just like
doesn't
pointing at
speak
things,
Wait,
but
you do those cuatro tacos.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy's getting better now.
I'd have been like, this many cerveza. But he
Is
was
that
able
how
to,
the beer got there?
yeah.
Did she
so-
go get it?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he was able to like talk to her, and then her daughter helped grab us beers, and she spoke English, and we were chatting with her, and she was like, "No, like you're good if you keep it safe. You could ride into town, go get tacos."
Yeah.
She told us what tacos to go get, which ones were good, and we enjoyed San Felipe like town till midnight, one in the morning.
And it was crazy because I know you talked about it in the vlog, but we had just missed the 250 San Felipe 250 or whatever desert race it was. So on our way down there, it's just, I mean, no traffic on our way down there, but it's just lined up with trucks,
Coming back
buggies.
out.
You know, there's trophy trucks on trailers, bikes. You know, the side by side ATV deals, like just a ton of people. So we just missed it by that night. So the town was probably just insane.
They were like,
The day before.
yeah.
Yeah.
It gets crazy. It's a cool little town.
And
I mean, we were out till what time? We were out late
Over
that night
past
after
midnight.
dinner,
Yeah.
and there's people just still,
Yeah.
you know,
Sunday night.
raging.
You've got hotels up on the top there
Yeah.
that you can stay at that are right on the water. It's really cool.
You know, a lot of people were saying if you just keep going 1 hour south, there's a really cool town.
Yeah.
I don't remember what
Bahia
it
de
was.
Los Angeles.
Yeah, they
So
were like
farther down.
further
Yeah.
down. Yeah, they were like it's beautiful beach like town.
Yeah, the lady at the gas station said there's multiple people that told us that.
Yeah,
Well, that
so-
whole side of the Sea Cortez is
Yeah.
just spectacular.
And then the other thing is just like how good the food is.
I was
You know,
going to ask
even like
you.
breakfast when you're not getting tacos.
Yeah.
It's just everyone's making the food with love, and a lot of these restaurants are just family owned and operated,
That's cool.
and it's just everything's made with love. All the food was always great.
The service is always great though too. They're like
Yeah.
on top of it.
yeah,
You know,
totally on
not,
top
not
of
like
it.
here back at home where you get, you know, you might get somebody with a little attitude.
So the ride that day was how long the next day? So you're in
So-
San Felipe, you get up in the morning. How long
so
were you able just to sit and enjoy for a little bit?
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
yeah, so Arizona to San Felipe was like 400 miles.
That was a longer push for sure.
Yeah.
We were a little like still hungover from AZ Bike Week, and
Right.
kind of like,
Hungover, what?
and we had already ridden like 1,000 or 1,200 miles, like
Right.
just from to Arizona and all around. So we were already over 1,000 miles into our trip, and then we go another 4 something down
That-
to San Felipe.
So that was mostly like desert.
Right.
It was almost like
Right.
we were just in Arizona, like
Salt and
straight
sea,
desert.
all that.
But you
Yeah.
can see the
you
We
can't
couldn't
see
really
the
see
ocean
the-
until the
No,
last half
not
hour.
until
Yeah,
you get into
until
San
you're, like,
Felipe.
there.
You're in Mexico for over an hour
Yeah.
and don't see ocean.
Huh.
Right.
Yeah. So, but day 2, I think, was the most unknown for all of us. And we were like a little concerned, but like excited for it because we were going to cross Baja. And it was
Right.
about 100 and something mile stretch from one side to the other.
So
And
that's all it is.
yeah, it's
120 miles or
like
something.
about 120.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's 120 of like potholes,
Right. No, for
And-
sure.
no necessarily lanes. Like cars can be coming around corners. There's not painted lanes. And then the unknown of like, what if you popped your tire halfway through? Like the cell phone service was really shoddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there was moments where the cell phones just didn't work. I mean, there was going through our heads. I was like, if my bike were to some reason not be able to ride from here, I wouldn't wait. I would just try to hide it in the bushes
Right.
Leave.
and then leave it and get on the back of one of their bikes, get into town, and then figure out what we're doing.
Yeah, because there's no lights out. Like if you're
Yeah.
out there stuck at night,
Yeah.
there's no lights. It's
So
very
riding at night's not bad.
unpopulated.
Right.
like,
Well,
Yeah.
out in that area.
yeah, out where we went, you don't
Yeah.
see
Where
stuff.
but
riding at night
cross.
from the house to the town, there's streetlights.
Okay.
But
I just talked to Danger Dan, and they were in a town in Mexico, and they blew a tire.
yeah,
And
There's no,
they
like,
went into an auto shop.
just wait till next week's episode. If you guys are ready for some more fun, get ready for next week's
Yeah.
episode. When we thought the vlog was over,
It was.
It
It
was.
was not over.
So he used a car tire tube and stuffed it inside the tire of the motorcycle just to get out
Yeah,
to the
that
next
makes
What do you
break.
mean
Yeah.
without
So he was
with
running.
air in it or
Obviously,
just a tube?
obviously
just
some
put
with
the big
spokes.
tube in
no
there.
Oh,
mags. Yeah,
But
it's
yeah.
a trouble with spokes you got to worry about. You just can't plug and
Right.
like a mag.
But day 2, I think for me was ultimately the most rewarding again because of that unknown. But then you're like you prepare for it, right? For emergencies, you have your tools. I had like spare parts, bolts, and stuff for whatever happens. Like we're in the middle of the desert, like essentially. None of us had done it, and we've asked people, and they're like, "Well, everyone had a different warning. Like you
Yeah.
got to
Right.
watch for potholes, or like you got
I
to
told
watch
you that
for
too, man.
Yeah.
We should have brought like more water and like snacks like beef jerky and stuff.
Yeah.
We
How
did
did
not prepare ourselves like if we did
We
get
were
stranded.
starving too.
Aren't you
We were
happy
running
those I
on
packed those
empty.
Cheetos for you?
Yeah.
The adventures of trips with unknown
Yeah,
and
when
when
stuff
stuff
what makes
happens.
it fun. Yeah.
I mean, when I was a river guide, the raft that flipped over, they had the stories. The people that
Yeah.
made it safely down. It
Yeah.
was just,
Yeah.
oh, this was great.
Yeah.
So that mystery and that, like, what? Oh, that
Yep.
makes it, and it's good for your soul.
Well,
too.
we didn't need the tools or anything that day. We found gas stations. We made it through. We couldn't believe we went through desert, higher elevations. We saw farmland. We saw, and then we
Vineyards, wine vineyards. It was pleasant.
Yeah, so you went up to
Yeah.
elevation for sure.
Yeah.
But we ended up finding out that we needed the tools on the next day. We're not going to go into that because that's again next week's episode. But it was cool. We landed in Ensenada, and the only bummer was we went there Monday, like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and that's their days off.
Right.
So we got into Ensenada, and we were going to bars that were closed. We would
Oh,
go.
no way.
We asked like
Yeah.
one place, like, "Where's the best tacos?" He's like, "You gotta go 20 minutes up the hill. This is the best taco place." He's
But
like,
they're closed today.
"Oh, but they're closed." Today.
I mean,
So-
because their main get down, that's not it, right? It's the
weekends.
the cruise ships.
Yeah.
That's where we're
Right.
setting off the ships, filling up the town. You know, they bust them
Right.
in. You're there for a few hours and then out, and there was none of that going on.
So
While
that was the only thing is I
Well,
would
you guys
redo the
don't really
trip
drink that
Thursday to
much
Friday.
anyway.
Thursday to
No,
Friday. was
Thursday
that-
to
not.
Sunday.
Is it
Okay,
hot
you
down there?
might.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
you know.
So that was a
But
great
these
trip.
guys look
We're
at
back.
water.
That was a good trip. We're back,
Jesus Christ.
and we are how many weeks out from Sturgis?
But before we get into that, I just
Yeah.
wanted to let everyone know that, yes, you can go ride with Thrashin. We're going to do that on Tuesday as well.
We're out of there.
But
On Tuesday.
Sunday the 3rd, in Lee,
Tuesday, the
South
5th of
Dakota,
August.
2LaneLIVE Burger Bash. And we've talked Thrashin into being there. So it's going to be Thrashin, 2LaneLIVE, and Harley-Davidson hanging
I
out
think
the
East
Boar's
Coasting's
Wait,
coming, too.
rewind that one. When's that?
Nest. Sunday the
3rd.
3rd.
Okay.
August 3rd. And
11
we'll
to
have
1.
100 free t-shirts with a Harley branded 2LaneLIVE and 100 free burgers for the first 100 people. And then after that, it's free for all.
Yeah, but
But
Boar's
wait,
Nest. Like I'm already my mouth's watering thinking about a burger from there.
So-
the burger and fries are
Oh,
insane.
God.
I mean, look, hey, we're gonna be there August 3rd, right? We're gonna be there celebrating with 2LaneLIVE.
Yep.
And it's one of those things that's like I'm already looking forward to that.
but also when we're done there, we're going to jump on our bikes and go to the Outlaw Square. So maybe you can ride and follow us out.
Well, I'm looking forward to that too because we really didn't do much riding with you guys last year, and then we completely missed the trip to Sturgis
Yeah.
because we were on our own little run.
Are you
from
guys
there.
doing that same program? I saw you guys were
We're-
doing a.
We're going to
run.
Milwaukee, but we're flying home so we can ride with you guys. This
Right.
year.
Awesome.
And speaking of
Yeah,
riding,
I always forget that last year you guys didn't ride to
I
Sturgis.
know,
with
it's
us.
crazy.
We met at the Boar's Nest.
Yeah.
And
You
we
guys-
got there before you guys, and you were in Lusk.
Yeah.
You are like,
well,
what?
we had a lot of issues that trip with people.
Yeah.
So
So it'll be a good time. And we got a really special, fun route and stuff that we're going to do on the way there. We'll share it with you guys later, but it's going to be really epic and really different.
So wait a second. So we've confirmed that 2017 was the first year
Okay.
that the four of us, excluding Juan,
I was there, but
Juan was there, but the four of us rode to Sturgis together. Right.
Yes.
And that was so now we can confirm that this group has ridden there for how many years?
9.
9.
That's 9 years.
Right.
This will be our 10th year as a group.
Yes.
I've ridden there more than this, but I'm saying as a group,
Yes.
right?
So to confirm that, when was you called the flat track race out at the Chip? Was that
Oh,
17?
boy. I don't think that was
The
Rusty
race that
Butcher.
never
No, I
happened.
don't think that was 17.
that wasn't the first year.
Yeah, I think that was.
We-
I think that was a
That
couple
was
of
a-
years in.
That
Really?
was 3 or 4
Yeah.
years in.
Huh. I
So
thought it was our first year.
that'll be 10 years.
We have
10
to like
years.
go through our phones and backtrack
But,
everything. and
yeah,
get
I
a
saw
list
those
going.
photos.
There's a lot.
I got them all. But we definitely want to do something fun. There's something that Dom has been like chomping at the bit. When I first met Dom, actually, this is a funny story. When I first met Dom, I want to say 12 to 15 years ago. And
It's more than 12. Yeah, definitely probably 15.
yeah, and basically he was with my wife's cousin, and my wife's cousin was hot, And I was like, all right, who's this? I'm like, all right, who's this dork dating my wife's cousin? Like, let's get this guy out of here and get her with one of my buddies.
Yeah, and they're all chomping at the bit.
Straight up. That's honest truth. I'm like, fuck this guy. Mine's so hot. Tom rolls up. He kind of like looks like someone that could be in our group. I'm like, all right, he doesn't look half bad. You know, like he's cool.
He
you
could
know,
fit. He could fit.
yeah. And then he's like,
Maybe.
then
Let's
he's got,
see if he opens his mouth, and then we'll see what's up.
yeah. Then he's got a Harley, and I'm sure Don could give
Oh.
his opinion on this whole story. He's got his Harley. He's into rigids. I think at this point you had not had a bike with rear suspension.
Nope. Yeah.
He's a rigid guy. I've owned a rigid before, but at this point in my life, I'm already too old for them. I'm already back over here on suspension. And he would come ride with me. Like, we started building a friendship, and it was cool, right? Because we would go to Christmases together. We would go to Thanksgivings together.
I think the first time we physically actually met was at like a Thanksgiving dinner, like a holiday.
She brought you.
like, button up, like clean cut, trying to, you know, fit in with the family. And
So
then
we're
this
there.
little jerk shows up.
So then we're there. We go. We hung out at the Thanksgiving, and he's telling me his Harley he's got, or in his life of growing up around Harley, showing me photos of him and his dad with pan heads and shovel heads from the 70s, 80s, 90s, whatever. You know, he's probably born in 65. And then I'm showing him my bikes and stuff that I've owned, and we're like, yeah, let's go ride. And I don't know, it was maybe the next week. Let's go ride. He pulls up on his red pan shovel, and I pull up on my Dyna Street Bob. We go rip, and I'm ripping fast, and he's ripping fast too. And we're both going through the Mulholland, Santa Monica mountains, and he's staying with me, not like it was a race, but he's riding at like modern day bike speeds.
I did my best
on a bike, and he did that for maybe 3 months or something like that. And we were all of a sudden we started hanging out quite a bit, maybe more than family wise. Like, we were just
So you're like, this guy's cool.
Yeah. And then he's like, I got to get a bike. That was when he bought that 4,000 mile Dyna.
Yeah, 'cause I was reaching out to Lance because I didn't know much about, you know, I've always grown up around the older bikes. So I reached out to Lance and like, hey, I'm looking to get something newer, because I remember after that we did like a ride from Neptunes. He was talking about the nut off my top tree for my forks came off. Like, I was just missing parts. I'm like, I can't keep beating up this bike like this,
Right.
you know. And it's my dad's old bike, so it's a little sentimental value. I don't want to beat the crap out of the bike. So reaching out to him, trying to find Dynas, and we're sending pictures back and forth. And I didn't know, you know, master my elbow with the modern stuff. So I ended up picking that 05, and, you know,
Such a beautiful
And
bike.
then-
You like the paint and the wheels. You're like, I love the paint. I love
chrome
the wheels.
mags, and then
Yeah.
the fact that it was two-tone, you know, old, you know, paint scheme, Harley
Yeah.
paint scheme. So, and then after I got that, it was, you know,
Game on.
on.
I
dusting-
don't even know
we're
where that
dusting- we're
started
dusting
from,
the
but
wind.
I think one of the cool things that I was just thinking about with that is that everyone here, really, aside from my father and I, like I guess maybe you two, but like me and these guys, we're purely friends from motorcycles.
Yep.
And that's what brought us together. Like, you know, a lot of people go, I wish my friends rode like that, right? These weren't my friends before motorcycles. I didn't convince my friends. I have plenty of friends that don't ride. I've never been able to convince them to get bikes, or when I do, they typically don't keep them,
Right.
or they don't want to ride on the weekends. But what ended up happening, since I've been riding Harleys since I was 16, the people that want to ride Harleys, you find along the way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. I found him along the way. We found each other. Right. And then me and Juan found each other by being motorcycle riders.
You
ending
guys
up at the
met
same.
on a Harley photo shoot.
Well, he was doing the flat track for Harley, and I was announcing it.
Oh,
Oh, that's
And
right.
that was kind of where we were
Milwaukee.
crossing paths. And
Milwaukee.
Don was there
Yeah, I
too.
was there
a little
for
bit.
that,
Yeah.
did you always lost, right, in the flat track?
I was definitely not one of the good guys, but I had a lot of fun. So
That's it. So this group of guys here that we ride with, it's like we have such a good time because we all get along. We like the same stuff. We all have fun. We, you know, whatever we do. And if you find guys like that you can ride with, believe me.
But
So
that's it.
we met through our wives.
But
And actually they knew my wife Teresa before they knew me.
Yes.
Because she was dating some guy, I call him Flatfoot. I don't know if he's out there.
Then we meet a guy like Josh that knows how to ride really good and film. And
wait a second. Ride really good. Wait a second. I've seen him torpedo long.
That takes skill, dude.
It does.
It does.
I also saw him one time going into St. George, Utah, drop his bike in a pothole.
Josh just getting beat up. Over
Uh,
there.
really good.
I might not give away these free gloves.
But
Yeah.
I think it's really cool though. To your point, I mean, we get so many comments about. I wish we had friends like you. I wish we had a group to ride with, and that people live vicariously through what we do. And it, when we ride together, they love it too because they can see. You said it in the drop the other day. We've got people in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s.
Yeah.
It's just an eclectic group.
Put the helmet on, and then you share a moment together, whether it's 200 miles. And I think the more miles you share together per stint connects you more. You both went through the same things, whether it's the weather, whether it's heat, cold, fast turns, someone tipping over.
Bike issues,
Wait,
breakdowns.
I gotta
Go
bring
through it
up a
together.
point
Wait,
that's-
hold on. You go through together, and then you share a meal together.
Yeah.
And it's best when you can do that 3 meals in a row, right?
get
Breakfast,
drunk
lunch,
together.
and dinner. And get drunk when you're
But
done
it's
riding.
also it's
Wait.
also best too because our group, there's not a lot of dissension. It's like, okay, we got to do it. Let's just go do it.
Yeah.
Like we don't have a good restaurant, but let's figure it out. So it's a good group, mixed group of people.
Someone just commented on there, Lance Jr. You be careful because they saw you in a video pull into a gas pump and drop your bike.
100%. But I mean, I guess Josh has the same credit. He torpedoed Juan with a camera. He probably dropped his bike with a camera. I had a
Yes.
camera in
Yeah.
my hand.
You know.
Then think about this. Let's think about this real quick. For the last 2.5, 3 years, I've been vlogging holding a GoPro in my hand,
Right.
clutching, braking, shifting.
And you're good at
I've
it.
probably covered somewhere in the neighborhood in those 2 years, 50,000 miles as an estimate on multiple different bikes, not just one, right? Some have hydraulic clutches, some have different shift points, some of them are FXRs with no EFI, some have EFI. Like all these bikes have different characteristics.
Thank God you're good at riding because sometimes you make me a little nervous.
Oh,
but-
shit. As a dad and you're
Yeah,
watching this,
yeah.
you're going,
Well, I'm not
"Oh,
going to bring it
shit."
up when how
My
much
boy's
we're into
good.
Uncle Alan.
And so, well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No.
Is it,
Uncle Alan almost rear
and that's what I'm saying is that there's a lot of moments that I think it for that one mistake of dropping a bike, I think it was a soft parking lot. I had the GoPro in one hand.
Gravel.
Someone stopped in front of me before I expected them to. By the time I grabbed my brakes and the bike was in the gravel, my foot rolled on rocks. The camera was in one hand. Bike went down. But that's what's so cool about what we do. I could have edited it out. I could have easily been like,
No.
let's not put that in the vlog. But that's the truth.
It
That's what we
happens.
share.
I love
What
it.
It's
happened?
just fun,
So
you know?
explain your drop in the parking lot because I think that warrants a.
No, there wasn't much to explain. I was not looking. I was turned around waiting
There
for
was
you
a
guys to catch
pothole
up,
like
and there was a
this deep,
giant fucking 2 foot.
You were
deep
looking at
pothole.
me coming through the
I was just
doorway.
one-handed turning around, and all of a sudden my bike just drops into a hole, and Anyway, now that I have the mic, we're giving away some gloves, 10 sets of 2LaneLIVE Highwayman V1 gloves. Today is May 1st, 2025. If you're listening to this sometime and it's not that day, code's not going to work. There's 10 available. Don't bitch at me if you don't get one. Here you go. Use the code GETTHRASHIN for a free pair of Highwayman V1 riding gloves, and I was even nice enough to give you guys a link. Thank you.
So stuff happens when you ride.
Stuff happens, and that's what I like about our vlogs and the way we vlog is that we do leave it in. I mean, I see some people try to like clown us for something that we did, and it's like, dude, we could have left that out. But there's also a lot of stuff we leave out that YouTube won't let us share.
Of
Right.
100%.
So, but we really do try to give you guys like the most raw.
They are raw and they're natural, and that's why people like. They're authentic.
If you were right there, if you were a person with us, that's what you get to see. We have a good time, nothing staged. This is all stuff, and that's kind of what I was also talking about. We've been doing this since 2017. Me, Dom, and Juan have been partying at Mama Tried probably since back then in those era. We've all been hanging out, celebrating together, life, riding. It's only recently we started vlogging. So what you guys are seeing is what we've been doing for a long time.
Well, let me ask you this though. So at Thrashin, you've always been really creative about your marketing, right?
Yeah.
Whether it was through Instagram or your website. What made you guys want to start vlogging?
So
were we the inspiration or no?
So
We
I
knew
know
where that
kidding,
was
I'm
going.
kidding.
So the funny thing is that this room that we're in
Yep.
used to be our design room.
Right, right.
And the office right there is where
That's Juan's.
Juan started at Thrashin for the first time.
Isn't that crazy?
And when Juan came on and started hanging out with us on a day-to-day basis, he's like, why don't we vlog what we do? Like, we do a lot of cool stuff, whether it's like riding just to go get tacos or wrenching on some
Working
of
in the
bikes.
shop.
Really? It was you?
Yeah.
I would
Whoa.
credit a lot of Juan like pressing to get us to film
Yep.
weekly. Like, let's film this. And I think he's a little bit more of a YouTuber. Like, he watches it.
Definitely. I don't have cable or anything. I just watch YouTube, mostly automotive content because I'm really into cars. Love bikes too, but switch
You're
it
really
up
into
there.
what?
Cars, automotive.
Have you
Something
ever blown
different.
a tranny?
You ever blown a
I have
tranny?
not. All my trannies are good,
Oh,
thank
boy.
God. But yeah, I just, like Lance said, I think we've been doing a lot of cool stuff, and I figured like there's gonna be somebody that would want to watch this, you know,
Yeah.
like. So obviously it was both. We both worked on it.
So
but-
think about this for a minute. Like when we first started doing this, Cole went to Sturgis with us.
Yep.
And
Wait, was Cole in your guys' first Sturgis or our first Sturgis? I think it was.
no, it
I'm
was
trying to.
like later.
No,
Okay,
yeah,
it
there
was
had been
probably-
a few between all of us before Cole.
Yeah, we
jumped
hadn't
on.
Yeah,
even
I didn't
started
know if we
our
started
first year of
vlogging.
YouTube.
Yeah. So was he
So
on
he
your
was-
first YouTube one?
I think so.
Okay.
And he called and said, "Hey, the old guys are getting more recognition than us, right?"
Oh, yeah.
And now roll.
Oh yeah.
remember
wait,
that?
Yeah.
Now
no,
roll
yeah,
the
so-
tape forward and think about this.
Yeah.
Look at the event you guys just had.
Yeah.
5,000
Oh.
people easy showed up.
That
And
was
probably
such a-
left half of them because they
Yeah.
couldn't find a place. I mean, think about just in 3 years,
The progression.
the growth of not only Thrashin and the stuff that you've done business wise, but I don't want to call it fame, but it's fame. I mean,
I don't really even want to talk about this. Like,
Okay.
I don't care. Like that's the thing, is that I don't do it for that.
I'm
you
not
know,
saying
and
you do. I'm just saying
No, I
think
know.
about
Like, I
how
don't-
it.
I don't think about that. Like, it again, it just like goes right back to, I just wake up and do what I want to do every day.
Right.
And I don't care if it's as long as like I can pay my bills and I can eat food, I'm happy.
Right.
And so for me, it's like I didn't start Thrashin like with the idea of how many people, how
Yeah.
big can I
No,
get
you
this
never
and grow?
cared.
It's
From
just
day one, I remember
Well,
you
it's just-
not
Yeah,
caring.
it's just
But
based
I'm
off
not
a
s-
friend group and like
Yeah, I'm
riding.
not,
So I don't
saying,
even
I'm not
fun.
saying that. I'm just saying, but you look back and see what's gone on. It's
yeah,
crazy.
I think it's not just one thing.
No,
Right? Like,
it's
I don't
multiple
think it's
things.
like, oh, because you started the vlog, it's this, or oh, like before the vlog, there was 7, 8, 9, 10 years of brand growth.
Yep.
Right. And that when the vlog started, there was already people interested in what we were
100%.
doing. But I think that overall, it just comes back to naturally us having a good time, sharing what we're doing.
Well, you
And-
inspired us to do that because we were riding crushing miles, and you said, "Why are you guys not vlogging it?"
And
I
I
mean,
was
that's
gonna
how
bring
we started.
so I was gonna bring that up right after Juan was saying, like, you know, or right after I gave Juan recognition for doing that, for pushing me and pushing us to pull a camera out and share more day to day. It's funny that I said that because I was thinking to myself, I kind of did that to you guys.
You did
like 2 or 3
You
years prior.
you told me that we were stupid
for not
because
doing
we
it.
were going to get a Sprinter van and build some bikes and ride up and down the state and show dealerships the different parts on bikes.
Well, you guys were gonna.
And it was a
that's
cute,
because
it was a cool stupid.
you
And you're
guys
like,
were.
why don't you just do the YouTube thing like you've talked about? And we're like, we looked at each other and we're like, all right, let's do it.
That's because you guys were already riding to Arizona a lot, and you were riding and doing these trips, and you guys could probably recall on some of these trips that you were doing before you started vlogging.
Oh yeah.
And it was you two, and you guys would come back and you guys would share, like, we just rode 1,500 miles in the last 3 days and we went to this place, look at these photos, and you guys were sharing it with me. And in the meantime, I'm already working on Thrashin, and I was telling you guys, like, that's rad, why don't you share it with the world?
Yep.
And you were like, oh, I'm going to turn it into trying to sell products for other brands while I'm on the road. And I'm like, but that's going to make it way too much of a job and take the fun away.
No, you were right. I'm
Why
not
don't-
saying you weren't right.
Yeah, why don't you make it fun? Keep doing what you're doing, but get it out there. And I think you guys have done a great job.
Well,
doing
and we leveraged your drag account for about 6 months too.
Right.
And
Well, I
it's
remember-
known.
I
That's
remember
what
in
family's
this room
for, you
here.
know. You got to help each other out.
Talk about this room when you first came on board at Thrashin. Lance came, he was in here and he's like, hey, let's write Juan's name and let's stick it on this chair with tape. And we sent a picture to you. And he said, here's your chair waiting. I remember that.
But aside from that, aside from business and work, because I definitely don't, I just always,
Yeah.
I like to talk about rides, right? Let's talk about Sturgis is how many days or months or weeks
It's
away?
under 40 days, right?
Oh,
No,
is it
no,
40
no.
days?
No. 60.
Cut him
Where's
off.
this guy
Cut him
over
off.
My math
It's-
is
you
off
I think
a
you're
little
good with
bit.
cameras and not
It's
math.
12 weeks away.
12 weeks
Huh.
away.
Oh, they open in 40 days, the Boar's Nest. Never mind.
All right. So
Uh,
we're,
posting.
13, 14 weeks away.
That's
We're just in the first week of May.
so we're already planning. I've already booked
Yeah.
where we're staying.
We got our
So
house.
it's
Have you
90
booked where you're
days.
staying?
Good point.
And we told, like, obviously we just shared the dates of stuff where we're going to be hanging out and definitely be there to say what's up. But there's been a plan that, in this discussion, you guys are in on this right now, like, because they've been asking us. There's been a plan. Dom's had something, and that was what I was trying to kind of circle back around to. Dom has had something. We met. He's into choppers. I'm into more modern bikes. At the time when we met, I probably had my FXR already carbureted.
Yeah, you did.
It was basically, it's not a birth year FXR. It's a 92. I'm from 90, but it still is like the generation of my birth, right? And Dom has his birth year bike, 67 Panhead.
65 was last year for Pan. 59, but I also have the 80 shovel, which would be close to the cone shovel, which would be close to my birthday, 85.
And
I'm not that old, everyone.
but
You
I
were
mean,
born in 85.
85
I
stand live,
graduated
brother.
high school in 85.
Well, I mean, we're showing our age here, so
Jesus
moving on.
Christ.
So back to the bikes.
so he's always said, like, he's rode the Dyna there, and he's always been like, man, I wanna ride my
Dom.
one of my bikes up there. I really want to ride one of my bikes up there, and I think this is the year.
Well, here's my outlook on this. I'm going to be 40 in September, right? August is close to September. This is a little gift to myself. I'm not getting any younger.
You think like I think.
I would like to, at one point, not just for bragging rights, whatever, but say like, hey, I rode a rigid bike to and from Sturgis. It was always a goal of my dad's to ride kind of cross country on the red and white bike that I have. He never, made it that far. So I think,
So you're leaving July 4th.
yeah. I mean, I'm
We'll
going to take
meet you there
hey, just
in a month.
He's going to do
one
it.
year.
He's going to have no problem. He's going to make it because he's
Yeah.
been doing it on an 05.
Yeah.
A little
Dyna.
different, right?
Yeah,
And he can do
it's
it.
gonna be a little slower pace. It's gonna find that bike still rips. I can go 100 if I want, but that's not gonna
You
happen.
don't need to do that.
So
Yeah, but we'll just plan a nice route, and we've talked about other. You want to dive into the other arrangements of getting there?
I feel like there was a moment, like, was it on the ride that we just did from Mexico where we actually toned our speed down for a
Yeah.
little bit?
Yeah.
And we like toned our speed down to see
Enjoyed
how
it.
it was. Not only like we were going like 70. That's really toning it down. I mean, typically we're riding a lot faster. So we toned it down to 70, and I could really hear my music so much better.
Everything.
clear as
Everything.
day. We just like we were cruised.
yeah,
And if he's gonna ride his Pan, we're like, we should ride bikes that are a little older. I might not go, that old, but we've got a couple FXRs, and maybe this is the year where we, slow it down a little bit and we ride some carbureted bikes. And maybe he's not on an FXR, maybe he is. I don't know if we're saying it's only FXRs, but maybe let's all get on bikes that are carbureted at least.
Yeah.
I remember my first year riding to Sturgis, one of the guys that was with us was on a carbureted bike. And I remember him riding through Colorado
elevation.
and the elevation and that thing running like dog. And he had to ride it wide open. That was the only way it would actually ride. We ended up getting a ticket at one of the grades because he had to hold it wide.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if he was 3/4 throttle, it was just going he just didn't want to run. So he just ran it wide the whole way. And then he got a ticket for it. And we were telling the officer, like, yo, he had to. I was like, nah.
They don't
One nice
care.
thing was you could pay with your credit card right then and there in
No, just a
Colorado.
cash grab.
Yeah, it was a cash grab. But I think my goal is to ride a carbureted bike there. That's one of the bikes I have not ridden. I've ridden a Dyna to Sturgis. I've ridden a Softail to Sturgis. I've ridden modern touring bikes, but I've yet to ride a carbureted bike. So that would make another kind of new thing for me and a new experience.
So-
just something else
What's
to
the
check
team
off
this
the
year
list.
from
And
Thrashin?
What's that?
What's the team? Who's going?
From Thrashin.
From Thrashin, I think it's going to be our main goal. It would just be Dom, Juan, myself, Cole.
So you
All
guys will be on
all
carburetors,
carbureted.
and we'll be on 2024
Carbureted.
Road Glide.
I think
Badass.
Carbureted.
I think they should be on carbureted bikes.
Yeah,
or they should
100%.
I'll
be
do
on
it in a heartbeat.
Where are we
dude.
getting them? You know, what? I'll
Comment down
drive my
below
I'll
truck.
buy a
if they should
bike,
ride
dude.
cart
I'll
bikes.
just bring the stick shift 3
No, you can bring.
Yeah.
You
I
can
mean,
bring
we
the.
might need a follow truck, so that wouldn't be a bad idea because
I gotta be on
You
a
know.
bike, man.
yeah,
I think you should. I think you guys should try to. We got how many? Like that's why I brought up the date. We got like 3-4 months.
Where are we gonna
Nah,
find?
dude, we got
carbureted
40
bikes?
Carburet-
days.
easy. You can find a
maybe
carbureted.
maybe somebody at home wants to lend something that you guys could ride and go put
Yeah.
some miles on.
You can find a
Just return
carbureted
it, you know,
bagger
slightly
in a
used.
heartbeat.
Big Lance is just gonna tape a carburetor to his new bike. Like,
What
yeah, it's
are you talking
carbureted.
about? We are carbureted.
Yeah.
Like we're no problem.
I think that would be cool.
Where's the Ironhead Sporty at?
Right here.
Yeah.
There it
you go.
is.
There's
You got
one.
one bike. One
There's
bike. Josh.
one.
That's Josh's.
So I think another
Hell yeah.
thing that's
Oh my
been.
god.
Well,
That's. I'm not gonna say that the next kicker. Maybe I should.
Yeah, no, we'll leave that out.
Keep a little bit. So
Yeah,
we got
keep
more
some
ideas,
mystery.
more fun surprises.
But we're trying to take it back a little old school and really enjoy the trip,
We're
the
gonna.
scenery,
You're gonna ride your chopper,
Yes, sir.
a place that you guys think doesn't exist. We know
The
it
Monkey
exists.
Dugway?
The Monkey
We've
Dugway.
missed it. It's gonna happen.
It's not
I mean,
real.
You
It's
know
not real.
what that bike's capable of. So as long as it'll make it,
It's
in
fine.
the dirt, we're fine.
I
You
made it
can't-
up
it's
there with
not
no
dirt.
brakes.
I'm not
Hard.
scared of much.
I
Dust.
think we need to really decide the route when the final decision is made.
You're doing the Monkey Dugway.
Well,
You and me will go.
Well, we know, like he's talked about elevation. We should probably try not to climb too high, just so the bikes don't run like
Yeah.
crap. So it's one thing,
Silverton's out.
but we can go.
well, I mean, definitely one of
I
the.
mean, we
places,
don't have to go through like SS Park where we're up 11,000 feet.
All right,
I'm
we'll
saying
go
no
through
elevation at all, but-
Louisiana and up through
No,
Kansas.
not like that.
Well, just so everybody watching knows, we've done the typical like the easy way, Utah, like up through Vegas, Utah, the fast way through Colorado, and up through Wyoming. To Sturgis. We've done that. We have done one of the better ones with Dom.
Yeah.
Sea Bear came on this one
Oregon,
where we rode
the coast.
the coast all the way up to Washington.
That was great.
That was incredible ride. Took way longer than we thought, and then we followed that river.
What was that?
The
6 days?
Columbia Gorge.
6
Oh,
days? it took
5
us that trip?
days.
Yeah,
Well, whatever we do, we have to be there by Sunday the 3rd.
but we also we'll leave early enough. But we also then rode the one where we rode through. Okay, so that one where we rode by your family's place, we rode up to Reno.
Yep.
Reno, then we went up to Twin Falls, then up into Idaho, and then across Yellowstone.
That's when
And-
CJ and his dad joined us on that
Yep.
trip, right?
And
Yeah.
then we've done it where we've gone Arizona, New Mexico, call it so like a little bit lower and then up.
Yep.
I have done it where I've flown to Tennessee and I've got rental bikes and ridden from Tennessee over, but it's not as
Maybe
fun
we
when
could
you're on a
rent
rental bike.
Yeah,
carbureted
no,
bike.
it's never as fun.
It's more fun when you're
Yeah,
on.
there you go. Maybe you can run a carburetor bike.
Yeah.
That's lots
After,
of
hey,
fun.
how about after this year? After I, check this off the list, I'll get a bagger and I'll just be comfortable the rest of the remaining.
There you go.
Everybody's
Yeah.
been calling on all this, especially this last.
Yeah, I
trip to
saw. Hey, I
Mexico.
saw that. You got to figure something out here. I'm gonna
I
hold
know
you
he's
to
expecting
it. No, I never expect nothing.
No,
All
I'm
good times.
teasing, I'm
I'll
teasing.
tell you what, everyone in this room here, every guy here has every guy here's back. And
That's
if you
a fact.
need something, they're there for you.
Unless you
And
get in a
that's what makes
fight,
it great.
then it's only Dom and I.
Oh, we're there to back you guys
We're
up.
not
You're
gonna
filming.
We're not going to talk about it.
We had to document
You were
it.
there.
No,
Can I just
Were you-
like,
No,
We're not
don't
talking
do
about
I
that.
did do it
No,
from here,
no.
just like I could show the camera
No.
the iPhone
Up
footage
to
from here.
14.
Oh,
Let's leave that one out, kid.
Oh, come on.
No,
All right.
no.
All right, while you're looking for the footage, we're doing another giveaway of Thrashin t-shirts. For those that didn't understand the last time around, the discount code is for our website. If you comment it in the chat, you won't get anything for free, but an internet high five.
2LaneLIFE.com.
2LaneLife.com. So this next code is for Thrashin t-shirts, Fueling t-shirts, or 2LaneLife t-shirts, no long sleeves, just tees. There's only 5 available. So click the link, type in the code, and figure it out. Bada bing,
He
bada
said,
boom.
wow, Lance Sr. said the 3rd. Are they going this Sturgis this weekend.
The 3rd
No,
of
it's
August,
August
my
3rd.
friend.
August
August
3rd.
All right, I got something. We just talked about riding carbureted bikes.
Yep.
Juan does not technically own a carbureted bike.
What?
Ooh.
I do, but it's not a Harley.
He was putting offers in
I was.
on bikes.
What?
I was.
We were out of town. I was pushing him. So
I
so you
wanted
had an
the bike.
opportunity to buy a bike. What
All right, so at this last
Oh,
trip,
shit.
you could tell him like just enough to where it's not going to ruin the
Like
vlog, but
Last time he goes into Arizona, or while we were there,
the second trip.
second
well,
because while we were there for Arizona Bike Week, we found my exact 05 Dyna.
Yes.
oh, that
Yeah.
one was gone.
Juan was
That
looking
one
at it, trying to get it, and it was
gone
gone
in
like
a
that.
heartbeat. No, there was a bike that I had seen months back. I was messaging the guy on Marketplace, and the bike disappeared. So I thought he sold it. We show up at this place, and that bike is there.
No way.
it's there.
the same bike.
No
the
way.
same bike.
So he
months
took it
later.
off Marketplace because he put it on consignment.
Like
at
an
the
auction.
dealership.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, and like my plan originally, I was like, "Hey, I'm interested in the bike. I want to fly there and ride it back to LA." And the guy was like, "The bike's been sitting for a long time. I don't think it's ready for that road trip."
Keep in mind, he found this bike when I bought that FXRT. Because when
Okay.
I bought the
Gotcha.
FXRT,
Yep.
it fired him up. He was
Yeah.
like, "That was a sick moment. Like that bike's sick. I need something like
Hey,
this."
I can take
So
the
why don't
FXRT
you let us ride that?
Yeah.
I'll
I
get on
think-
the
I'm
back.
thinking about
We'll
Yeah,
swap
he's-
it
That's,
out.
that's all him for sure.
All right, so
We'll swap it out. You
Yeah,
drive
so
one day, I'll drive the other.
so the bike's there, and we're all kind of like in shock. We're like, "This is the bike. This is the bike I wanted, and now I have another chance to get it."
Fate.
And I'm messaging the guy. I'm trying to work a deal with the dealership, and unfortunately, just not enough communication through all the parties. So I kind of fell through. The bike's still there, but I haven't really been pushing for it lately.
so it's a cool bike.
Super cool.
Are you in the thought process
Oh,
of
shit.
all right, I'm gonna ride a shop bike, which is totally fine by THRASHIN, or are you motivated to be like, I need to find something of my own so that when I get there it's my bike and I do
So,
my own stuff to it?
Yeah, I'm super grateful that I can ride one of the shop bikes, and we have a DX, and we have a bunch of carbureted bikes, and it's always a blast. But there's always it's a little more special when it's your bike.
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
You
we've
know.
talked about.
Well, wait,
between-
we can
between
rent
our-
bikes from you.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get, but I think it would be kind of cool if you guys were on carbureted baggers.
I got a motor and a carburetor, and that's it. So I'm still looking for a frame.
Me and Juan have talked back and forth about you wanted a rigid bike and like build a shovel head or something too.
Yeah, if I
Is
got
that
it,
still an option?
if
or is that
I
your-
got, I think I would
know you're
want.
cutting it close,
What do you need,
so-
a raise or
I would
what?
not. I would not get a rigid bike. I mean, I would. I do want one, but I feel like that's more like a bar river, like because we live close to
Well, you can buy
Malibu.
something with a swing arm frame now, and then if you want to, once you get back from Sturgis, you can get an older
I think that's kind of like a
later on down the road.
long-term project.
All right,
Yeah,
just
later.
just feeling out. See your heads at.
Now this bike, it's a little more modern than some like a rigid bike, but
You're looking at- I won't
I
say
think
it.
I was really inspired, like Lance said, after he got his that FXR, and I'm still trying to do that.
So let's just put it this way. I'm ready, gas tank full. I'm ready at within a 12-hour notice. I will drive a 2,000-mile round trip to help my guy find a bike.
If you guys have a
What?
carbureted, all right, here's the deal.
Oh no.
Carbureted
2,000
FXR,
miles.
I would say 90
Well,
and
this,
newer,
yeah, okay.
and then up to an 05. I would do an 05 DX Dyna. Anywhere in the, or actually, well, not because
Well, no, 05.
You want like
05's
04.
05's the first year.
If we have
yeah.
anyone
So
out there that
if
has
you
some
guys
really
know
great
somebody-
baggers that are carbureted for $1,000 a piece, we're in.
So Juan wants a 91 to basically 2000 FXR.
Yep.
But it has to be like OEM.
Yeah, it can't be like too modified. Obviously, the more original it is, that's just the way I like it. I want to be able to do all the stuff to it.
So then that, or you're looking at like 99 to 04 DX.
Yeah,
Could be a T, could be a regular DX.
Yeah.
So if you guys find something like that,
comment,
share it
down
in the
below.
comments, comment it on the THRASHIN
Yeah.
page or their page or whatever, however you know it can get to
Email.
on.
Go for
And
it.
if it's, as long as it's, within Colorado, Utah, Vegas, Mexico, or Texas.
Mexico
not
would be cool.
That's too far. And it's somewhere within a range of like a 2-day little rip.
Turnenberg.
I have a
We'll
badass
do it.
DX right now. I might message you guys.
Send pics.
Calvin.
Yeah. Send pics. Will it make it to Sturgis this year?
But
Yeah.
not only that, I mean, so this whole thing is just like exciting because you're talking about bikes. You're going, we're all thinking about bikes, but we're going to do a cool, different vibe. This whole journey. This is going to be an
It's going to
amazing
be
trip.
Yeah.
going to be slow and steady wins the race. It's not going to
Yeah.
be as fast paced. So we're going to have to be some patience.
Says the guy who
Patient.
rides the
Yeah,
fastest.
I know.
These two
Well,
guys
I'm saying this
get
out
on the
loud to
freeway,
I'm
they're
saying this out loud to
miles
myself. So
ahead.
there's going to be a little more patience, and it'll be more
But
relaxed.
I've heard you say this before. I'm chilling right now. And
Yeah.
then within an hour, it's
Triple
like
digits.
Dom is not. Now we're all just.
yeah.
Dom
You
is like a
know me
little
for
speck of
years,
dust.
so I'm just.
Okay, but there's also
I
another
mean,
guy
well,
in this room that
You mean
that
I mean well, but what this guy?
I mean,
Oh yeah, when he's on
it's
it,
so
he's on
funny
it.
because it like
Especially if
we
you're in
all
a
have to
canyon.
be first, and it's like him and Cole and us. And that,
Yeah,
I like riding fast in the canyons.
yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I can't keep up with him in the canyons.
No.
Hands down, never have.
But
I think I've
once you,
slowed down in my older age.
once you get on the highway and you do start crossing the triple digit, like there's moments of fun, but then like when it is for the whole day,
yeah,
and your head's just kind of like
You get beat.
and
You
start
get
to
beat up.
Yeah, I just like we're enjoying the ride. Like, why do you want the ride to be over? I want it to take twice as long. Let's go
there's been
50.
times where it's getting later and we need to like get to a town to
Yes.
find a hotel.
I don't think
Yeah.
it's
Now,
even
with
that.
being said-
I don't
with
even
that-
think
with
it's
being
that.
said, did everybody here do the 1,000-mile ride?
Yeah.
I've done it.
We all-
I
But
did
Dom
it with.
Dom wasn't with us.
No,
You weren't with
I
us
did
that
it
year?
with. I did it with
Oh, we
Galen
did
and
it.
your dad when you flew out to announce X Games. We left
Yep.
Sturgis and made it to
Mesquite.
right outside of Vegas.
Okay,
in
so
one
it's
day.
close to. So you
We
guys.
did.
We
Oh,
hauled
it was
ass.
over 1,000.
No, it was over at that because we left from Lusk
So we left from Lusk.
and then went all the
No,
way
we
to.
did
No,
Deadwood.
we did Deadwood.
So we were in
to
Sturgis the year that we did
We
it.
did
So
Deadwood.
another-
So
to
just so you
Vegas.
guys know, we did Deadwood to Las Vegas in one stint. We left at
Nonstop.
8 a.m. Ask Lance about going fast in canyons and getting pulled over.
In remember
Cole,
Wyoming.
Cole.
Number one.
Hi, Cole.
All right, that goes back to
Bro, where you at, bro?
that goes back to one of our speeding. Well, I was gonna say we'll touch on that real quick. So basically,
That was hilarious.
Cole.
By the way.
I was gonna just say about like riding that such of a long distance for a long stint and basically riding over 1,000 miles,
Big.
just filling up gas, not really sitting down for lunch, eating snacks at the gas station,
Riding into the night.
riding into the night, riding through Utah at 2 a.m. We definitely had our fair share of those.
It's a push.
Yeah. But speaking of Cole's deal, so here's the thing. All right.
Get
We're-
that contact, Josh.
We're in like Wyoming or something like that.
Yeah.
I think it was Wyoming.
Yeah, it was Wyoming.
And it was just wide open, beautiful roads. We know we're making it to Deadwood that day. We know it's going to be just an epic. I think we were trying to go to Boar's Nest that day. We were like, all right, there's like an hour and a half left. And weather just kind of cleared up. I remember it like rained a little bit earlier. Weather just cleared up. Me and Cole, we were just cresting like that triple digit speed, riding in the 90s. And you could kind of see
It was
ahead
a
of the road.
long.
And we're like messing around. We could have easily gone faster, but we were just messing around and like holding up.
Wait a minute. You
Like-
guys kept trading spots, and then you'd throw up a number one.
Like we were in first place. And you just start doing these like weird things when you're on the road for 2,000 miles. Like you just do things to entertain yourself and you're in the comms laughing with each other. But I think this was prior to us having comms.
It was.
And
Yeah.
so we're just doing games without talking to each other. And this game was like, who's in first? And it was like not a real race, but we were doing 100 miles an hour. And we came around this corner and a Wyoming patrol state trooper was waiting
Out
for
in the
us
middle of nowhere.
in the middle of nowhere, pulls us
I mean,
over.
you guys didn't even tap brake. It's just
and we pull over and
We go by,
you guys go by. You guys
except
were
for your dad. He rolls up, and the officer's like, "What the fuck? Get out of here!"
Yeah,
He
yells at
comes
him
up.
for trying to hang out or trying to see what's going on.
Right.
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 And then he looks at me and Cole, and he looks at me, and then he looks at Cole, and he's like, "You get out of here." To Cole, and I'm like,
He got it.
"I just
And
get out
Cole
of
is
jail
in
free
front.
card."
because
No, no.
you do this.
I think so. He
No,
said,
I think because you were at speed, and then you dropped, and Cole, but then he saw you. He had you on the speed.
He said
Yeah.
you made your friend chase you.
yeah. And he gave me a ticket for going
Right. Like
97?
101.
Yeah, he
Hustle,
gave it to
dude.
me for under 100. It was like 97 in a 65 or something like that.
Yeah.
It was not my proudest moment. I mean, I hate getting tickets, but you know, I try to be safe. I try to, like, when there are cars around or when there is, you know, people around, we try to ride safe. But then when the roads are wide open and
Yeah,
there's
at
not a
that
car
time,
in sight, like,
At that time, it was fine to go.
I
that
think that
fast.
the gnarliest ride we ever did was riding through I-70 in Colorado, lane splitting when you weren't supposed to. We were
Whoa.
all going really
That
fast,
was gnarly.
and people were calling the cops on us.
And that was like every man for himself, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well,
It was like,
we were,
this is where we're going.
hungry
Meet
and
you there.
hot.
Yeah, it was really hot.
I
And
think that was a trip we had to wait for Rob's battery to get delivered.
no, that was a different
But
trip. Because
Was it?
I was on the Colorado.
No, it
trip.
was
The
that
way
trip.
you,
was
you
that-
get
yeah,
pulled
it was
over
that
quite a
trip.
bit.
It was
was
that
that
trip
one,
because
Juan.
those guys were like, they didn't really follow, like, they didn't have etiquette.
The
to go.
one that I would, so we had that. So these are two different trips. So you're talking about with the random people that showed up.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think what we're thinking about is when Courtney came with us.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was not that trip. That was deeper into Denver
Yes.
and the Denver traffic. And
Oh,
it got
that was
hot.
terrible. That
And
was
we were
bad.
Yeah,
layered up. We had
yeah.
layers for the high elevation. And then we were just like, we wanted to get delayered, but it was traffic hour and then it was hot. And we
Our
were just
trip
like,
was the one where we missed the Moki Dugway.
Okay.
And then we were trying on the I-70 trying to.
all right. So Sturgis is 4 months away.
No, no, no,
May,
no. We're,
June,
we're,
July. We're like 3 months,
Yeah.
3.5 months, 3 months,
Mhm.
4 months.
we're like 12 weeks away.
So before that, though, we have
Yeah. What are you guys going to
we've
do?
got. I know we've got Harley Homecoming that
We're
we're
gonna-
all
How
be
come we're
hanging
not?
out
How
at.
come we're not doing Kern this weekend?
So Kern this weekend.
The 10th, I think it was next
I
weekend.
cannot do
It's
that.
All
it's
right.
Mother's Day.
17th.
Oh
Wait,
shit!
we're not
It's
doing
Mother's
it.
Day.
Whoa,
No, I know.
dude,
Why
why
would
are
we
you trying
change
to
it?
plan something on
So
Mother's
there's
Day?
Oh, that
Mother's
makes
Day in
sense.
2 weeks. I
Kern,
know.
Kern would be nice to get a run in before, just to do something.
We're doing it when?
you know.
The 17th.
You could meet us.
We're not
up-
going to
We're
Kern.
gonna go. Yeah, we're gonna go to Kern.
Oh, we
first.
are. Bitching.
So there
We were
might
gonna
be-
do that with Laidlaw, but they're out, so you guys could run up that weekend if you wanted to, and
Just
then
a
we're gonna
quick one.
continue on
We might put that on our calendar.
to the Sequoias.
Yeah. We might put that on our
Ride your
calendar.
motorcycle through the big tree.
So you have? Are you doing Born Free this year?
We'll definitely go there, hang out, check it out, see what's
Okay.
going on. Not setting up a booth or anything like
Right.
that. And then other than that, I'm really looking forward to the Harley Homecoming. So before they even asked us to be involved and asked us to do the Friday kind of
Right.
meet and greet that a lot of other social media people are doing, I saw the date pop up. I saw my favorite hotel. I've been to Milwaukee many, many times. I know my favorite hotel. As soon as that date went up, I booked that hotel right away on my own dime, not knowing
Yep.
if I'm even being asked to be there at all. The band's playing. I know that
Oh
Courtney,
yeah.
my wife, would love them. We would love them. A nice weekend getaway. So I was like, we're going. And then I texted that after to Harley, like, hey, I already booked my room. I'm already going to be there. If you guys have any support or want me to do anything when I'm there, I'll be there. And then, of course, they already had plans for all of us.
Right.
We're all going to be at a meet and greet at
Yeah.
homecoming. So come and see us there too.
So I'm also going to try to see if Dom wants to go. I don't even think he was in on that trip yet.
Dom,
but
you want to go?
Yeah, of course.
You want to go to Brady Street with us?
have
Yep.
you? Oh, you've
I-
been.
I-
You and
Teresa's
I.
not going
we've been-
back there,
we've been
and I don't
to-
think Laura is
Been
either.
to Mama Try, but I haven't been to any of the other Harley stuff though, like their big event
Yeah.
stuff. So yeah, I'd be totally down to go.
Well,
So
we
I just
got
make-
some
check
Chris
the schedule
Stapleton's
and
playing.
Hank Williams
Hank
Jr.
Williams
Yeah.
Jr. That's Saturday, Friday,
Friday, the
Saturday.
13th or something.
July.
June,
We're going to-
13, 14.
No, the 10th, 11th, 12th, I think.
June or July.
When are you
July,
going?
July.
We're going to a bike night on the
The
10th.
10th is the
At
bike
the-
night.
We won't be there then.
You'll be in Friday,
I think we're flying on Thursday.
Thursday
so you'll
night.
be there.
Yeah,
Thursday
Thursday
night.
Oh,
night.
you
like
may not.
late. The
Okay.
flights are kind of rough getting over to Milwaukee.
Yeah, they are.
from LA.
Well, yeah. Let me check the calendar. We'll figure something out.
Yeah.
So
Put it on your
It'd be good.
yeah, for
The
sure.
10th is Thursday, and then I think leave Sunday.
Yeah, that's easy enough.
So we're doing a tour from here to Milwaukee. We're going to stop at 4 different dealers. That'll be a
Durango
fun trip.
Harley Davidson, Twister City Harley Davidson, Dillon Brothers Harley Davidson, and finally the House of Harley,
The House of Harley.
Milwaukee,
Durango, one of my
Wisconsin.
favorite places.
Yes.
Take care of us.
I'd like to go
Especially-
through
especially
Durango.
especially last year.
I'd like to go through Durango again.
Yeah.
I like Durango.
It's a bitchin' little town. Me and Cole tried to go fly fishing that morning, and
That was
took
one.
care of my bike.
That was one thing I
That's
want
my
to do.
Primary, what's that? Fly fishing.
So we got to hang out with Paul Yaffe.
Yeah.
Last week, and I didn't know much about him, and he's going to be in one of our vlogs coming up. But I didn't know much about him, and
He's been around.
he's
A
been
long
around
many
time.
moons.
The crazy thing is he's from Van Nuys.
Yeah.
And he worked on bikes at Bartels. He knew Micah McCluskey, who's from the Valley. He knew so much about chopper history in the Valley that I've also known because I grew up here. But he left the Valley in 89 or 1990.
Yeah.
So when he left is when I was born, right? But he told us he's been riding to Sturgis. He said something like 40 years.
Something like that. Over 30.
30
Yeah.
something years or something.
Consecutive. Like he hasn't missed one.
Yeah, and he told us one of his things was he's always built a new bike that he rode there every year.
Yeah.
And he saves them. He still has them. Like some cool stories he was telling us. But one of the things he told us he does is he takes one day in the middle to not ride. So he'll ride like for 2 days and then in the middle not ride and then ride 2 days and get there. And that was really cool. Like he told me this year he has planned to go rafting on the Colorado River. And
Off I-70.
yeah. And so I would like to add a stop in there. We do a lot of get on a bike, rip 300 to 500 miles, which this year it's probably going to be a lot of ripping 250 to 350 miles.
Yeah, I
is
might,
my
might need a
estimate.
day break there for the old back.
But I
Yeah.
think we should plan somewhere to have a day break in the middle of the ride and find something to do. And I know
Well, I have
your
to-
history with whitewater rafting's cool, or do we like try to? Is there somewhere to go hunting, or is there
Fly
somewhere?
fishing or something like that.
go
No, I think
fishing.
there's. Look, we've kind of started this year doing, and we did it in our documentaries over the last few years, but this year it's like, let's just slow down a minute and spend a little more time in each of the towns that we're in, and learn the town better than just going to the local bar.
Yep.
So I mean, that'd be cool if we found, like, if we went up the way through my cabin and we took a dory down through the
that'd
water.
be so
If we
sick.
went,
I mean, that
hiking.
area is beautiful, and obviously there's a
Beautiful.
lot of lakes and stuff.
But
You know the lay of the land up there too. So
but we
it's not
can't
bad.
take that long on those bikes. So,
Yeah.
but there's
Can
places
we,
to your
can we
point.
talk to the Harley dealership that let us use the Wi-Fi?
Durango.
Durango.
Can we talk
Trevor.
to Durango? Is there some Trevor knows something really cool?
I'm sure
in
we
town
can do
of-
whatever.
There's definitely a lot of fly fishing spots, and the river's right there.
Yeah.
So.
Or can we go like off-roading or something? I don't know. That'd be
Yeah,
sick.
ATVs.
Yeah.
Do those side by
I
side.
mean, we kind of did that one day, or that one year that we went up to Jeff's
Jeff's
spot. We
place.
basically
Yeah.
took the day off, parked the bikes at the distillery, and then we went off roading and we went up there shotgun, sat in a hot tub, and
Well, I know
that was,
where- I
that was
mean-
pretty epic.
And then we
We
came
can
back
go-
down, and
yeah,
we probably should have stayed another
yeah.
day.
Off-roading and do some
that
stuff.
was a good
That one
time.
place I was
That
already
was a good
talking
time.
about.
Yeah. So I just want to do something.
Yeah,
I'd like
that'd
to
be
add that into our trip this year. I think that would be great.
Nice little breakup,
Yeah.
morale boost that we might need for
Bounce
the
back.
slow and go.
Or bounce back.
Yeah. Well, guys,
Well, we're down
are
an
we
hour.
good?
Yeah,
We're down.
good.
Wow.
It's great to
That
have you
went
here.
quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is like I was holding back talking about so much because there are some cool things we still need to talk
Yeah.
about
Right.
on our
maybe,
trip
like,
to
we'll
Sturgis.
we'll do
Like,
another one.
Maybe we should do it again just before
Why
we
don't,
leave.
why don't we
One
do a
last-
live in Sturgis as
We
well?
are doing a live in Sturgis
Okay.
Where at?
in your room.
in your room
In Juan's room?
at the Best Western Hotel.
We'll make
you're
sure there's a
staying at.
casting couch for
Yeah.
one. Hey, let's take like one question, find something that
Yeah, Josh,
Yeah.
hit us with some stuff.
Ooh,
What do you
let's
got,
see. We
dude?
had someone asking us if we're going to ride to Laconia this year.
no.
Yeah, it's all
I may fly in. You know,
Yeah.
the East Coasting guys have been doing Laconia.
I wouldn't
For-
mind that. That's a pretty big event.
I would
Yeah,
like to
he
go to
actually
that.
talked about
I
it.
feel like there'd be a
So
decent
we'd
amount
all
of, like,
like to.
choppers and stuff there.
I don't think I would
we
ride
plan that
there.
next year. We fly in, we get some EagleRiders or other bikes, and
I think I would go there and I'd make sure the East Coasting boys had some beat up Dynas to ride.
You did
kinda
that
they
once
did-
before and didn't like riding at the
No,
night.
we're gonna
Yeah,
get Eagle
that
Rider.
was 2 years ago riding to New York with East Coast, and I made sure that this year we got bikes with better suspension.
Yeah.
It took care of us this year. It was an incredible ride. But what do we got?
too many comments to go back. So if someone has another question, we'll answer it in like 30 seconds.
Hit us with the best question. We're looking for something fun.
Probably not any more events than we're already going to. Someone
I
asked
saw
about Smoking
one.
Hone.
I saw somebody texted me one. It's from Sherry. Ha 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 ha. Cat too old for Juan.
I don't get it.
Pussy too old for Juan.
Oh boy. Way to be direct.
I gotta say that's one
Wow.
thing. There's a lot of
Wow.
people, you know, that definitely when they find us, a lot of people would be like, "My wife loves Juan."
Everybody loves Juan.
All right, anything good? What do we got? Good.
Let's see. Canada trip.
We've done that.
We've done that.
We should take you guys up there.
I don't know if I'm allowed.
Oh,
Let
my-
me double check.
Buy an Indian Challenger.
got
This is a
into
good one. This is a good
Mexico.
one. Buy an Indian Challenger
And make some parts.
and make some
LOL.
parts. I mean, that's not that good, I guess. Because,
It's gonna be enough for me, Doug.
yeah, and that, again, it kind of goes back to the thing. Like we buy the bikes that we genuinely want to ride, and we develop the parts that we genuinely want.
Staying true to the.
But I do think it's cool that other brands motorcycles want to run your parts.
Yeah, no, you're right, and I think the Indians have come a long way, but
Here's a good one.
What you got, Josh?
I think that the thing is that I bought a Harley because I love that it's so still prehistoric. Like
Yep.
it still has push rods, it still is air cooled, they still vibrate more. Like if I wanted a bike that was water cooled with overhead cams, they've been making those for years.
Got a gold wing, baby.
Yeah, you could get a gold wing. So I just love that the heritage. I'm worried about the future. I hear this stuff about Rev Max going in the bagger. I hear stuff like that. But one thing that I'm proud of is that I have a 1990s FXR that I love. I've owned it for over 10 years and I never plan on getting rid of it.
Right.
So as they keep developing new bikes, it makes me cherish and love my old bikes more. Sorry. So keep going.
No, that's
There's what
Henry Levi Strauss says, "Who is someone that you met on the road and made an impression on you?" Desert Doctor, I would say.
I would say Mark.
Mark.
We had a gentleman 2 years ago sent family through Sturgis at our meet and greet. And Lance and I got on the phone with him. He was dying of cancer. And last year, almost the same day, that guy showed up and came into the tent and was like, "I'm kicking cancer's ass because of your call."
That's awesome.
someone wants to ask Lance a question. How did he choose the name Thrashin?
How did I choose the name Thrashin? My buddies were me and my buddies back 15 years ago when they moved out and got their first bachelor party or bachelor house, and my kid friends were getting Harleys and stuff like that. We together as a team were all putting like thrashers on stuff on the garage wall and making stickers and stuff like that. And originally I was like, that's a cool name, but I don't think we can trademark that. So then I went on uspto.gov and I just started finding names that were close to that had that were kind of what we were
Available.
trying to portray. And Thrashin was not trademarked, not registered. You know, things would come up on the internet as there was like a movie from the 80s called Thrashin, but it was an extinct trademark as well as was just trademarked for a movie. It wasn't trademarked for parts and gear and stuff like that. And that's why you can see there's Fox shocks and Fox gear, and they both have the trademark Fox, but it's for different categories and they both can run it. But again, the TV one or the movie one was already expired. They had already relinquished it. So I grabbed it for exhaust and gloves and motorcycle parts and
I
stuff
think it was
like
a
that.
fitting name for the group at the time. Like Thrashin's aggressive, you know, and you know, like Thrashin, you think of like ripping around skateboards, whatever, but like ripping around on bikes, and that's what was going on back then. Like everyone was just
Burnouts in the garage and
gnarly, just thrashing around, just, you know, kind of.
cops were showing up at the bachelor house at 3 a.m. with doing burnouts in the garage, and
Neighbors had to be stoked.
we were teenagers. We were in our early 20s, and we we were drinking till 2-3 in the morning, and then someone would get the idea to start their motorcycle in the garage and do burnouts up against the drywall, and the neighbors would, and we were thrashing, and that's kind of where it came from. If that makes enough sense. And
So let's go.
It's a rough, quick
Go
story.
back to the other. So you said Desert Doctor.
That was just
Who's that guy?
that is a dude. He rides I think it's an Ironhead Sporty through Escalante, Utah. And he just checks up on anyone passing through town. If you need a tire, he'll do a tire change. You need a motor rebuilt, he'll do it. And he's got a house/garage. He just hangs out. That's like his retire.
He's an awesome dude.
He rides up and give you his business card.
Do you have one or no?
Hey, someone said, you ever think of making a Dyna foot brake? Dyna brake arm has been in the last couple of our vlogs. We've shown it in our last couple of vlogs. It's on Cole's bike right now. We're already testing it. We've been testing it for weeks. You've seen that in our vlog if you watch it all the way through. And they are in production right now.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, that's that might be time, boys.
Wait, what did it say? Lance grounded? What?
Lance, how do you stay grounded with all this success?
Like I said, I do it just because I want to do what I want to do every day. And I got these guys around me. And
if you got out of the line, I give them a little
Right.
Yeah.
Little three-piece combo.
Yeah.
I love what I do. I've always loved what I've done. And that's
Three-piece
what makes it
combo.
fun.
And it's funny because you get suggestions. Oh, you should do this. You
You
should
want
do
a
that.
four-piece
You should do this.
combo?
What is that?
Yeah,
But sometimes it's like, hey, I love what I do. I'm going to continue doing it.
Which
And
is better, a cone shovel,
Yeah.
Cone or Jenny?
shovel? Jenny, I would have to say, just because it's more aesthetically pleasing. They're older.
Yep.
Cone shovels are a little bit more modern. You can put electronic ignition in it. Well, I mean, just your choice. But I say the Jenny stuff just because slab side motors look better, and
Yep.
that's my
Plus, we
personal
like
preference.
Jenny.
Well,
Yeah,
we're not
Jen's a
letting
good
Dom
name.
go anywhere. We're keeping him around.
No, I was just gonna say Dom, you're just like magnanimous.
Well, you know what? I'll say this.
like
when
just
we first,
vibing, like
I'm just here for the fun
when
and the
we
good time.
first
Yeah,
started
I love it.
vlogging and we would fit video every trip we went on, it kind of annoyed these guys. We'd go up to them and go, "Hey, how do you like the trip?" I don't like it. And I think
Well,
it changes the
Yeah, we were
dynamic.
doing some stuff that shouldn't have been on
Yeah.
camera.
And
And
now-
it changed the dynamic of the trip.
change the
Yeah.
dynamic.
And-
And we didn't know what was going to get edited in and edited out.
Yeah, and
But it's really interesting.
I'm a
because
little camera shy.
not anymore.
Well, no, I've grown into it, and I had to
Right.
come to terms with this is where
This is my
this is
life
where
now.
it's going. If I want to keep doing these trips and be with the boys and having a good time, then that's the new, this is the new normal. Where it took me a while to
Yeah.
adjust. I mean, we talked about this years ago. Lance was like, "How good are you at reading stuff on camera?" I forgot what we're like back when you were announcing, and I was like, honestly, I've never had to do anything like that, and whatever. Even though I work in the television industry and watch it constantly, and
But you make
around
it happen.
live shows and stuff, but
Because I even
now I've
remember
kind
a
of
point-
just gotten used to it, and not been so shy and so worried about what I say. I do have a foul mouth, so I constantly apologizing to him about
and that's okay.
cussing, and I try to just
It's
it's a different
real.
dynamic, but it's still it's fun, and we're still doing the same stuff. You might not see it, but some of it airs. We're still out here having a
I
good
think
time.
You
We're
said at
probably
one
more
point,
responsible now.
No,
Yeah,
but at
I
one
mean-
point you said, "Hey, Tom doesn't want to be on camera. We can't bother these guys. We can't." I go, "Let's just keep putting it in their face."
No,
It's like,
he was not happy with.
but
the
now he
camera
is.
Well, just
in
because I
his
thought it
face.
would take away from what we had,
Yeah.
just
I-
what we were doing, our riding. I just thought it was, turned into somewhat of a production, but it's also allowed us to do more of these trips. It's given us more of a reason to get out of the house.
That's what I was going to just
Yeah.
say.
And do these things. And with that, I was thinking on the way here, like we're obviously our own little family, our own little group, riding group, but like our families at home, the kids, wives, everyone at home, like they're stoked on what's going on and that we're all together. We're responsible. We keep an eye out for each other, and
They're part of our group.
and they're getting to witness too, because you call home at night and say, "Hey, this is what's going on." You might leave, like, "Oh yeah, we forgot that we went through this pass," or whatever's going on. We're busy days, and then they're seeing it on camera, so it paints more of a picture for them. Like my son's 14, and he's like stoked on it now. He's like, "Dude, like no, I understand what you're talking about," and like he got to go to the open house, and he's like, he was stoked,
Yeah.
So that part, they get to see what's going on.
I mean,
that for me is
it's been a blessing to do it
Yeah.
in a way, because we didn't think about like the Marks of the world where we would help them get off the couch or survive cancer. Those things you just don't even think about.
Yeah.
Honestly, it motivates me too. I
Yeah.
watch our own vlogs and I realize how much fun I had on that trip. And then I'm like, I gotta go on another
What's the
trip.
next
Yeah.
trip?
Like,
What's
I
the
gotta
next
do that
trip?
again.
Let's go.
Because sometimes
Yeah.
in the moment,
Yep.
you know, any moment, you can be struggling with certain things, whether it's in your mind or whether it's your bike or the heat or the temperature or the hunger or whatever. And maybe in the moment you're like, but then you get home and you're like, that was insane.
Yeah.
That was an experience. And then you look at it a week later and then you realize how rad it was. And you're like, I got to go again. So I was going to say, yeah, like the vlogs at first were definitely like one more thing to do, like holding this camera,
Yeah.
worrying about getting the shot, like, but
But
then
we
there
have
is the
fun
part
doing
that's
it.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But think about, we do the lives as well, which is crazy. Go watch our first live. You will laugh your ass off. We are just up our nose holes. I mean, it is bad.
Up
But
your nose
these
holes.
Thursdays
Oh,
give
the
us that
live.
moment to hang out and people get to ask
Yeah.
us questions
Yeah.
and talk to us. So it's kind of
Hey, I'm just stoked to be here. I got to work early, so I can you guys. I'm relaxed.
There you
No.
go.
It's
All
Well,
right.
and we had your grandfather on a couple weeks ago, which was
Yeah,
a blast.
I know. I wanted to come on here when my grandpa was here. Would have been pretty cool, but had prior arrangements, and I actually took all the boys go-karting that day.
Oh,
Everyone
shit.
at the warehouse, they reached the number, shipping orders, and I promised them I'd take them go-karting, and they set the date. We already pre-booked
Yeah.
like renting the go-kart place out, and then he
Who-
told me like,
Who had the fastest time? Who
Actually-
got the fastest lap?
Your buddy Patrick,
Well,
which is
Patrick
a
doesn't
professional
count, yeah.
race car
who
driver.
had the? I think it was Chance and then
Chance.
me.
It was Patrick, Chance, but you were like in 4th place or something.
so what's
No,
up?
I got
What's up?
third.
Oh,
What's up?
I couldn't hang with these
At
guys.
K1, I think they base it not so much off your position, but your lap time, like whoever has the fastest
Well, but
lap.
then we also did the last race. That was qualifying. The
Yeah.
last race, it was like a real legit race where you got staged and first person to cross the finish line wins.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. My cart was not up to spec. I'm just
Oh,
gonna
he's
blame it
blaming
the
on his
car.
car. Wait till he's
shit.
riding his carbureted bike to
Yeah.
Sturgis. See what kind of complaints we get. Just kidding.
Well,
Just
thanks,
kidding.
boys. Appreciate you.
Thanks
Yeah.
for
Thank
having
y'all
us.
for
Love,
watching.
family.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. We'll see you on the
down
next
road.
one.
See you later, Cole.
2LaneLive.com. See ya.